We Need to Talk is the 7th episode of the first season of Invincible on Amazon Prime. The season finale is episode 8, so this is the penultimate episode. We're coming to the end of the first season already. This is pretty quick, this show. It flies by. The plot is, Amber and Mark and William are coming back from upstate. And Amber and Mark are still in a fight. They had a fight while they were upstate looking at colleges. Debbie confronts Nolan. He confronts Omni-Man about why he left his suit around all bloodied. Like, why leave it so carelessly around that she could find it? He says maybe he wanted her to find out. He always wanted to tell her, and he always wanted to be honest with her.
What?
She's doubting him more and more and doesn't buy his answer. Monster Girl returns to the Guardians. She's all repaired and back to normal. And they're all happy to see her, especially Robot. Robot is, feelings are forming for Monster Girl, that she's trapped in this shell of a little girl. He's feeling sympathy for her, like he is also trapped in this metal robotic body. Robot has reached out to the Mauler twins, and they're creating a twin body for Robot. He wants to have a human, avatar, and he's got some DNA from Rexplode. He sees that Monster Girl likes the way that Rexplode looks, and he takes some of his DNA, and now the Mauler twins, who are the scientific experts in cloning, are making a Rexplode body for Robot. This leads to a pretty cool fight scene. When Robot comes to collect the body, they try to betray him, and then he tries to betray them, and then he tries to take them into jail, and there's a cool little fight scene. So, once again, there's a lot of cool action scenes. Nolan, Omni-Man, returns home, and he finds that his house is empty, but he senses something's wrong, and Cecil's men, the GDA agents, are in his house. They're invisible, and they reappear, and he just slaughters them. He beats the hell out of them. And they have a watch house across the street. They've been watching his house for months, and then he destroys that house. And then he flies off now. He's looking for Mark, because he realizes now that Debbie and Cecil are pulling out from their support from him, and he wants to know if Mark knows whose side Mark is on. He wants to have Mark be on his side. Cecil unleashes one of the monsters that Omni-Man has beat up in the past, but this time he's made him a little stronger, and he unleashes him on Omni-Man. He's trying to delay him, trying to see if he can wear him out a little bit. And Omni-Man begins his fight with this monster, and the news reporters and helicopters come, and now they're filming it. It's on TV. Mark and the Guardians and everybody see this battle on TV, and they want to go help. But Cecil contacts the Guardians of the Globe, and he tells them, stay where you are, you don't know what's going on, I have to fill you in. Don't help out Omni-Man in this fight with the monster. They're trying to contact Mark, but they can't get a hold of him. So Mark doesn't know what's going on. He decides to go out and help his dad. Mark arrives as Nolan is getting worn down. Omni-Man, everybody wants him to be defeated at this point. And the monster's winning, and then Mark comes and saves him, which is like a twist. Like, oh no, because Mark doesn't know. And he saved his dad, Omni-Man, and they both defeat the monster. The Mauler twins, back at their lab, after they've lost their body that they created for Robot, were working on another body. They have the Immortal, and they're bringing him back to life. The Immortal, who was killed with the Guardians of the Globe in the early episodes, they're bringing him back to life. The Immortal can always come back. So they bring him back, and when he wakes up, he's in a frenzy. He remembers that Omni-Man has slaughtered him, and he wants vengeance. And he tells, where is he? And he flies out of the lab and goes looking for Omni-Man. He catches up to Omni-Man after he's tired from fighting this monster, and just starts assaulting him. He tries to rip his eyes out. The show's pretty violent. He does his thumbs in his socket, trying to take his eyes out. And Omni-Man tells him, this is the best line in the series so far. He tells him, you should have stayed dead.
Don't!
And he starts fighting back and starts beating up the Immortal.
Nope.
And he takes the Immortal, left arm and right arm, and rips him apart on live TV. The news reporters are there, the media is there, the cameras are there, and he just viciously kills the Immortal on live TV. And now everybody knows that Omni-Man is this brute who actually killed the Guardians. Now it's out there, everybody knows. Mark is shocked to see this. He can't believe this side of his father, this side of Omni-Man. He's like a brutal fighter. He's vicious. And then finally, as the series comes in, he tries to get Mark to calm down. He tries to get Invincible to calm down. He says, listen, we need to talk. And then the series ends. So it's pretty cool. The series has some pretty cool tropes too. The opening title card for Invincible, somebody's always about to say his name. Oh wow, look, it's and they never get his name out, the title card pops up, Invincible. And every time we see the title card, there's more and more blood across the title card from the battles that Mark has been in, Invincible Man. And you assume by the end of the series, the whole thing is going to be covered in blood, because he's just getting into these crazy fights all the time. So now we're waiting for the final episode, which is episode 8, and that is where we're finally going to... Omni-Man is going to spill the beans. He's going to let everybody know Mark while he's here, and we'll see how Mark takes it. Alright, episode 8, which is the season finale. Omni-Man finally tells Invincible, Nolan tells his son Mark, the real story about where he's from. So even though he does have the Superman mythos that he's from another planet, and that's why he has superpowers, he's not telling him. He finally tells him that the other planet, he's a Viltrumite, and these people have conquered the universe, and they go from planet to planet conquering planets, and as an ambassador, they've sent him to Earth. They have a new process of conquering planets quicker. They send ambassadors out to Earth to pretend like they're helping them, like Superman figures. And they've sent him out like he's a Superman figure defending Earth. But what he's really doing is he's getting reconnaissance and information, and he's weakening the Earth's defenses and making sure they can't defend themselves, and that he is the main defender of the planet, and that they have no other surprises or special weapons. So that when his planet finally comes, the Viltrumites come to take over Earth, they can easily conquer it.
Do it!
So that's his real purpose there. And he's telling Mark that there's a place for him and his mother, an Earthling, she's human, with him if they cooperate.
Do it!
And Mark now, growing up on Earth, is a human, and he can't go along with this. He can't believe he's hearing this. So Mark decides to fight his father, and we find out that Mark is greatly outmatched by Omni-Man.
Don't!
He's just too powerful. He's just beating him up, and he's easily winning. And then Omni-Man, to teach him a lesson, beats him up in downtown Chicago. He throws him in a city and starts throwing him around buildings. And as he's beating him up, civilians are being killed and destroyed. And Invincible realizes that Omni-Man doesn't care. And he's saying, if you keep fighting me, look at all the damage you're doing. Whereas if you cooperated, none of these people would be injured. He beats up Invincible to the point where he's going to kill him. And Omni-Man has a moment of emotions, of flashbacks, where he realizes that Mark is his son, and he can't go all the way with it, and he flies off. He leaves the planet. So Cecil and Debbie and the news media, everyone is relieved by this, and they don't know where he flew off to. But now everybody's preparing for him to come back. They don't know if he can come back at any time. And Invincible is recovering, and they're thinking when his dad is going to come back and try to reclaim his true mission there. Something is approaching the planet from outer space, and they think it's Omni-Man. So Invincible goes out to confront him, but it's Alan the Alien again. From the earlier episode, the guy he had to fight for the defense of the Earth in like episode 1 or 2. And he tells Alan and the Alien the story, and the voice is Seth Rogen, I think. It's the comedian. And they're friendly with each other, Invincible and him. And he tells him, once a Viltrumite has been defeated, a single one, he'll go back to his planet and bring the whole army back. So any day now, he's going to come back with the whole fleet and just destroy your planet. And Invincible Mark is, disturbed by this, and he stopped preparing. Cecil has created now an army of drones. They took captive when Mark and Amber went upstate to look at colleges, and he fought that RoboCop type of drone. Cecil took that guy captive, and now he's created an army of those drones. He was impressed by that weaponry, and he's created an army of drones getting ready for when the Viltrumites return to fight them. And then we do a montage of the other subplots that have been going on. The subplot with Titan, the mob boss who took over the mob business, and the subplots of Amber and Mark, and the subplot of Eve and Mark. And we have a little montage of stories to come, and the that alien creature, the Sequid that came back from Mars, he's on Earth now with the astronaut, and they're showing a little montage of that is about to happen. That monster event is about to take over. So lots of conflicts are about to take place in season 2, and then we end the season. So what did I think of the first season? It moves really quick. Every episode is just jam-packed with plots, and it moves very quickly. Lots of twists and turns, lots of great fight scenes. And I like adult animation, like adult cartoons, where it's very, very violent. It's funny that you don't expect it, and you see people getting ripped apart and stuff. It's kind of interesting. Well, the rest of the world already has this. I know like the French-Belgium comics have adult-oriented comics, and anime is very adult-oriented. It's very violent, and it can be sexual and stuff. And we don't have a lot of that in the U.S., so it's kind of cool to see it. To see like adult-oriented animation, it's a lot of fun watching it. So I would definitely recommend watching this series, especially if you have Prime. It's like one of the better things on Prime right now. You can just click on and go through the series, and you don't have to be familiar with the comic. You'll pick it up right away. And if you are familiar with the comic, they have changed lots of things. But after the 4th or 5th episode, you stop analyzing what they changed, what they didn't change, and just go along with the series. I stopped comparing. I just go along with it, and it definitely has still lots of cool twists and turns. It's better to go fresh to it and be surprised by it. So I would definitely recommend for this. I don't know, the first season, what would I give it? I would probably give this a CGC White Pages. I would give it an 8.0 or an 8.5. I'm not sure. Maybe an 8.0. I wouldn't say it's as good as a DC animated movie. Those are just 9s and above. But it is pretty good. I wouldn't say this is as good as The Boys. I think The Boys is much better. But this is also very good. So let me know in the comments below if I missed anything. And check out my other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Do it! Do it!